Today on Aging Untold, your muscles are disappearing and you might not even notice.
You want to remain independent, you better be maintaining muscle mass.
We'll show you how to flex your way back into shape. Then, from patient to pioneer,
Make them best on it.
how one man with ALS is helping to advance research for the disease. And her friends say she's earned her nickname, but she doesn't necessarily agree.
Mother Teresa.
Yeah, no, not even close.
We introduce you to a woman inspired to serve her community. Experts with advice and solutions. You're watching Aging Untold with Aging Well Coach Catherine Ambrose, gerontologist Sam Craddock, aging expert Amy O'Rourke, and board-certified physician Dr. Ray Rogers. We're all getting older. It's about time we talked about it.
Welcome to Aging Untold. You might be surprised to hear this, but starting as early as age 30, we all begin to lose muscle mass. Older adults between ages 50 and 70 typically lose about a third of their muscle mass. But aging isn't the only culprit. Malnutrition, lack of physical exercise, and some medical conditions can also lead to this. But there's a lot you can do about it, no matter your age. Dr. Ray, what's going on in the body as muscle loss occurs?
Well, as we get older, we do tend to lose muscle, and it's an age-related muscle loss, which we call sarcopenia. And it's a really big issue because muscle is the currency of longevity. So it's so important to try to maintain that muscle, and you have to start early, you have to be doing movement, you have to have nutrition. And muscle is really a metabolic organ, and I think that's where people don't realize. It controls blood sugar, and that's really where insulin resistance starts, is at the level of the muscle. So when you start losing all of that, everything metabolically goes downhill. It's harder to maintain because you don't process protein and synthesize it as well as you used to when you were younger. And then the other thing is when you're exercising and those muscles are contracting, they're releasing these hormones that are called myokines. And these myokines, they help protect the heart and the brain, memory. They actually decrease inflammation. And that's why exercise is considered so important. So it kind of all works together. And in addition to that, you need strength. So all these different, you got a lot of different moving parts that are all working together are very important.
I think there's so many older women, let's say, and generations of older women that have no idea how important muscle is. Like they know exercise is important and that we should be walking, maybe should swim, maybe should do some stuff, but don't know how much muscle we should be building, like pumping iron type muscle.
Well, if you want to remain independent, you better be maintaining muscle mass, because that is your balance, that is your standing up, you're climbing your stairs, recovering from illness, your lymphatic system, all the fluids that we see when people have fluid that builds up in their extremities and their ankles.
It needs muscle.
It has to have muscle to move. That's what moves it. It doesn't have a heart. Its pump is your muscle. And so when that goes, everything else goes downhill. And it is the one thing in aging that we really do have control over. I mean, we don't always have control over everything, but we can control this. And you don't have to join a gym. When you stand up, sit down, and stand up again. Do that. And if you do just 5 times and then you walk off, you've just exercised without even realizing it.
You can even do wall push-ups.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I just love what you're saying because it's so true. And I think I read in Harvard Health where you lose 4 to 6 pounds of muscle every decade. Okay, well that sounds fine. But what I think especially women do, and I think men do too, they get on the scale and they look at it, they go, oh, I'm the same weight I was. And they don't realize that muscle weighs more than fat.
Absolutely.
And it really is, like you said, Sam, it is accessible. It's very accessible. You can do calisthenics at home, eat protein, whatever kind of protein, whether it's meat or a vegan protein. everyday activities that you do. Walking is strength building. You could, if you say, I can't afford weights or I can't afford to exercise, Silver Sneakers is free. You can go to the Y, have a local program and get involved in that, or be at home, go online, do something with your grandkids, take a jug of milk and,
Or
muscle
walk
it.
up an incline.
Or
walk
walk
up
up
a
an
hill.
incline,
Just
yeah.
slowly.
Find a swimming pool.
I'm a big fan
Yeah.
of hiring a fitness trainer if you can. Really, it's really strength building, building muscles. That is more than just walking. That is more than just the things that we're encouraged to do. And what's kind of bad too, sometimes seniors, this happened to my parents, they'd go to the doctor and the doctor would say, oh, just take it easy. No, it's the opposite of that. Because muscle allows us to do everyday things that keep us independent, from getting out of our chair, climbing stairs, carrying groceries, take care of ourselves and our home, but also to fully participate in life, fully participate in family vacations, chase the grandkids around Disney.
so
Like, you got to be
true.
in shape to do that kind of
I think
thing.
people don't realize if you lose muscle, you lose bone. And so a lot of times, even as in our field, everybody's looking at how you can preserve bone. Well, preserve the muscle. That's what preserves the bone.
Right. Right. And it's what protects that bone when you fall, if you have no muscle mass at all, you're in a crunch.
Yeah.
And you also
Literally.
and you have to optimize hormones.
Yeah.
You have to optimize hormones. Those all go to key. And then I look at people who have, as we get older, a lot of people have kidney disease, so they can't eat the same amounts of protein.
Exactly.
So you have to give them, there's other things out there that helps them to preserve muscle. There's some supplements and all that really help to inhibit these enzymes that tend to break down muscle. These are all different things, and certain amino acids, essential amino acids, different things that they can do to help maintain this bone.
So you're
and muscle.
transforming the two of us, my husband, and so what I've been surprised to learn is that hormones we can take when we're older, because a lot of people are under the impression that I went past menopause a long time ago, so hormones won't help me now. What would people be surprised to know about hormones and how that can help you build muscle?
Well, they're not only for relief of symptoms that you get, but it's for disease prevention and healthy aging. And a lot of people think that they got older so they lost their hormones, but I will tell you, you lost your hormones so you got older.
Oh, it's the other way. Yeah, muscle is a medicine. It's a pill that you don't swallow. It really is.
Still ahead.
It improves the quality of life. Rather than relying on somebody to do it for you, he can still do it for himself.
We'll tell you how cutting-edge technology is showing promise in helping ALS patients stay independent and engaged longer. But first, feeling stiff and stuck? Yoga might be your answer.
You become flexible and you gain balance and safe movement through yoga.
A look at the science behind better balance and strength through yoga.
If you think yoga is a stretch for you as an older adult, think again. More emerging research shows that the ancient practice can have positive effects for seniors in areas of mobility, mental well-being, balance, and cognitive function. So you don't need to be flexible to start. You gain that from practice, whether it's traditional yoga or chair yoga. We'll look at some of the risks in a moment, but Dr. Ray, kick us off with how yoga can help the body.
Well, overall, yoga is just very calming, and people think, oh, I can't do a lot of things because it's really strenuous, and a lot of people think that yoga is that you don't get strength with it, but you absolutely do. You get strength, you get balance, you get a calming effect. And so anytime that you are in a calming effect, you're using your parasympathetic system. So you're kind of resting and digesting instead of this fight and flight with the nervous system. So it's very balancing. And it actually helps people with their inner moods and to concentrate. And even stretching muscles also builds strength because you have different muscle twitches and all that, and speeds and that. And so you're exercising muscles that you probably wouldn't get from the resistance training and all that. So overall, it's very beneficial.
No, I love that. And it's so accessible now. You can find a chair yoga class, you can find gentle yoga, you can find yin yoga. You can tell I do yoga, I love yoga. But what I really love about being in a yoga class is that no matter how you're doing a pose, it's okay. You don't have to do it perfectly. And here's a little secret. Catherine has something she wants to share with us.
Well, I'm a 200-hour certified yoga instructor, and so I love yoga as well. And it really does teach you to just take time out and focus and practice breathing. It can teach you a lot about body awareness and breath. And a lot of people will say, oh, I can't do yoga, I'm not flexible enough. But the thing of it is you become flexible and you gain balance and safe movement through yoga practice. That's why it's called practice.
Right.
And you're getting better as you go. And we all like to think, oh, we're built the same, but actually the way our bones
we're
are
not.
designed and things are attached, we're all a little different. So you'll see some people in yoga class that do things with a lot of ease that are hard for you, but then you'll find things that you can do a little bit better. But yoga definitely is about safe movement and balance, which is so important.
I want to do goat yoga. I just want to do goat yoga, but in all seriousness, it is actually a nervous system reset. And just that breathing, the stretching and the breathing. And we talk about muscles and how it is really the currency for longevity, as you say, and I talk about how it leads to independence. And so this is a real easy way, and I've seen a lot of chair yoga where our age community, maybe they're not able to get down on the floor and get into these poses,
Right.
but you can certainly sit in a chair and do the chair yoga. There's lots of good chair yoga instructors online that you can just watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
And participate along. And I've seen a lot of really healthy improvement in our communities.
Now, I would think there aren't really risks to yoga, but there can be if you're trying to be competitive. Remember, yoga is your practice, and hopefully you have a good instructor that's really cueing you well. And so it's not a competition. Yoga is supposed to be about ease.
Still ahead,
I think Kathy always liked her doing things for people and her family, and now the town has become her extended family. That's what I think. That's true. Right?
we'll introduce you to a volunteer whose spirit of service inspires us all. Next,
It's just based upon his brain activity. So we're translating his brain activity into command.
how one ALS patient is testing new technology that could help future patients communicate when they lose their voice. Find more Aging Untold content on your favorite social platform. You can follow Aging Untold on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok now.
Welcome back. The Ice Bucket Challenge was all over social media back in 2014. Well, all that awareness and funding for ALS is now paying off with real breakthroughs. ALS is devastating. It robs people of their ability to walk, talk, eat, and even breathe. But new clinical trials are showing real promise. Heather Graff has the story of one patient in a groundbreaking trial that could be life-changing for those with the disease.
It'll be 40 years in June.
40 years of marriage for Dee and Tim Evans. And as fate would have it, their most challenging chapter began on February 14th.
Tim's official diagnosis of ALS was 2/14/14, which is Valentine's Day.
It's now been 10 years since that diagnosis.
ALS has no cure.
And at this stage, the disease has severely impacted Tim's speech and upper body movement.
Tim has to rely on me more to do things for him, to help him.
But at Johns Hopkins Medicine in Baltimore,
Tim, could you open your eyes?
he has found both purpose and hope.
The more I thought about it, do I just want to sit home, do nothing, and die? Or do I want to lend the rest of my life helping others?
Tim volunteered to be the first participant in this study led by Dr. Nathan Crone, who says their focus is on improving quality of life for ALS patients.
He was almost looking for us, as much as we were looking for him.
And now they're experimenting with what's known as a brain-computer interface, or BCI, that can translate brain signals into computer commands. Researcher Xiu Le says the BCI then uses a special algorithm to turn those thoughts into action, allowing Tim to navigate options through an on-screen communication board and ultimately control smart home devices like the TV or the lights in a room, all without moving or even speaking.
It's just based upon his brain activity. So we're translating his brain activity into commands.
So when he's using the BCI, all he needs to do is to silently mouth the words.
Why is that so important?
The devastating fact is that a lot of people with ALS, they lose all communication, all outside movement. But if we're using the BCI, you can potentially just do this by yourself, and that really gives them a sense of independence and a sense of control in their lives.
The team at Johns Hopkins says Tim has helped prove what's possible.
For this particular study where we were controlling the computer with these commands, the accuracy rate was about 90%.
And in publishing the study's initial results in 2023, they noted the BCI's accuracy held steady throughout a 3-month period without retraining or recalibration. Adding, our results may be one of the first steps in realizing the potential for independent home use.
It improves the quality of life. Rather than relying on somebody to do it for you, he can still do it for himself.
Tim and Dee view it as a potential game changer, but they also admit there were some concerns going into all of this. Specifically, the surgery Tim needed to implant the BCI on his brain.
It was pretty scary, I'll be honest.
We discussed all of these risks with Tim and his family. Any kind of device that's implanted in the brain has some risks.
We talked a lot about it, but ultimately it was his decision, and I agreed.
As we sit here today, no regrets.
Any regrets? No, not at all.
Service to others, and it makes his life interesting too. That's got to be interesting, being involved in that.
I liked how he said, what was I going to do? Just kind of
Stay at home
stay
and
at
die?
home and die, or spend my life helping others?
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
With the newer technology in that, it just gives him a sense of independence and hope.
I saw some joy in giving back. I saw the connection between he and his wife. And then I kind of envisioned him being able to do some of the stuff around the house that freed her up because she was going to have to do a lot of the physical care, probably still already is. But it seemed so hopeful to me.
Next, Inspired to Serve.
If somebody needs something, she's right there for them.
We'll show you how this Vermont woman made it her life's mission to fill stomachs, hearts, and minds.
From preparing meals for community members in need to curating encouraging cards to kids with cancer, Joe Carroll shows us how a Vermont woman has found solace in serving others.
It's lunchtime in Bethel.
Bethelville Sandwich Shop.
Kathy Day and owner David Sambor are in sync.
Okay, you got it.
Comfort food
Just made them this morning.
on a rainy day.
The Vermont cheesesteak's really good.
The two have worked together for years, even through the pandemic.
It was Dave and I during COVID.
No indoor dining, just phone orders. The two would bring the meals to the awaiting customers.
And I'd say, what kind of car are you driving? That's when I found out how many Subarus and how many black pickups are in. Because you'd walk out and you go, 5 black pickups, okay, who ordered?
In town, though, everyone seems to know Kathy.
I jokingly call her Mama T, Mother Teresa. You know, she you know, and because she can't say no.
Mother Teresa.
Yeah, no, not even close. Not even close.
Tell that to the parishioners at St. Anthony's Catholic Church in town, where she started a soup kitchen, a monthly meal for those in need.
I'll carry this in. My husband and I have a way of pulling people in.
With the lunch crowd gone, it's time for Kathy's other job.
All right, I'm changing hats.
She's been the town librarian for 30 years.
I'll see you in a bit.
Oh, that one would be good for a boy.
Today, a group of friends have come together for children with osteosarcoma, or bone cancer.
It's a pretty serious cancer, so these children are in the hospital oftentimes for up to a year.
It's a monthly meetup.
This one's perfect for this girl.
The cards bring a little joy to their young lives.
Oh, pretty.
She is incredibly good at roping people in.
When Kathy's kids grew up and moved away, she had to find something to keep her busy, and her card-signing friend tells it best.
I think Kathy always liked her doing things for people and her family, and now the town has become her extended family. That's what I think.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah. If somebody needs something, she's right there for them.
Very nice to meet you. I make people happy. I enjoy life.
She'd be a great person to know. How about that? So
I liked how she showed that life can be, it's not finite. You know, now she found another purpose and she just keeps going because she's going to make other people happy, and she just, the purpose that she has in life.
Librarian, runs the restaurant, and still finds time to serve and send cards. And she took, you know, they said after her children moved, and if every one of us would just take the pains of life and turn them into service to others, wouldn't we live in such a better world, honest?
Yeah. She brought to mind a servant's heart. Like, you hear that term, and then I'm watching and I'm thinking, that's really her. And what she's done is, it's been so selfless that you think when someone, what is it called, Mother T, Mother Teresa.
That's why they're calling her Mother Teresa.
No. And I think, yeah, she's so humble.
Yeah.
we're all getting older, and it's about time we talked about it. Until next time on Aging Untold.
On the next Aging Untold, some families are asking if edibles can ease agitation or sleep issues in dementia.
If you're going to try this, you know, there is the difference between CBD or THC.
We're looking at the pros and cons of using cannabis as a solution.